did it, mama, eat your world today? Such a strange and amusing place. One day you buy a rocket ship underpants, and then the next they're in outer space. Mama, don't you know that you're the only...
It's no question that a new baby is a bundle of joy, but it's a lot more joyful if everyone can get a little sleep.
According to our friends at Pampers, establishing good sleep habits from the very beginning is one of the most difficult challenges parents face. So as a part of our series, My Baby, Me, and My World, we met with sleep expert Kim West.
Better known as the Sleep Lady. She gave us some great tips.
So let's take a look. Tell us a little bit about how you got the name The Sleep Lady.
Actually, the 3-year-olds that I work with named me that because I call families and ask them how it's going, and the children often hear the parents talking about them and ask me about who that is.
So what is it exactly that you do for these families?
I basically help coach families on how to get their babies to go to sleep and stay asleep and take naps.
You must be worshipped by so many people.
I bet you get a lot of love notes from parents afterwards.
I do. I feel very blessed. I really do. I feel very blessed to touch so many thousands of families.
I don't know that I know too many, especially first-time parents, who do the sleep thing really well. Why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about where you see us making the biggest mistakes? Because I know we just totally didn't.
I did everything perfectly.
No,
of course.
Yeah. But my first child, it was a nightmare. So just tell us, what do we do that's where do we go wrong?
I think that the first thing where maybe we go wrong is probably because we're not told this. And that is that it is our job as parents, one of our many multiple parenting tasks, to teach our children how to put themselves to sleep. It is a learned skill. And so we don't realize that. We bring these babies home, we're focusing on feeding, changing the diaper that seems way too big for their tiny little bodies, and what to do about the crying. We don't realize that it's also our job to how to teach them.
They have to be taught.
Yeah.
You just think they're going to sleep when they sleep, but they have to be taught how to sleep.
Well, when they're first born, that's kind of what they do. They just sleep, but there is a
And it is
point.
our job in the beginning to help them, to do it for them. And then there's a point where, usually around 3 or 4 months of age, where we need to start to step away.
Okay, so there are lots of traps, though, that prevent us from doing that. Of course, not knowing. I mean, because I don't think anybody ever told me that I need to teach my child how to sleep. I just figured they'd figure that one out. But also, there's a lot of other traps that we back ourselves into that make it really impossible.
So what are you trying to say? What was your personal mistake?
My personal mistake? Oh, all of them. Let's see. Bringing the child into bed to breastfeed and then letting the child fall asleep while I was nursing or feeding him, and not ever giving him not putting him down while he was awake so that he could learn how to go to sleep. I mean, that was it. And so then he was in our bed, and then we had to do the transition out of our bed, which was very hard, and all of that. And so with my second child, I just started putting him down right away. Just, he's asleep, he's awake, just let him lay there. And he was a beautiful sleeper. He was awesome.
Well, the New York Times had a great article a few years ago about what is the most successful sleep training method. And they said that the most successful one is extinction, which is, kind of I always think it's not a very pleasant name that comes out of behavioral science, right? And what you do is you put the baby into the crib, drowsy but awake, then you leave. And you don't go in, period, all night long.
Right.
Which I wouldn't be able to do that as a parent, and I would not recommend that as a family therapist. But the reason why that's the most successful is because we, as the parents, can't mess it up.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly.
I see that.
I can see that messing it up. I think.
Exactly. And that's where I think we really trip up in parenting.
Right.
Is that we may learn along the way that we have to teach our children how to put themselves to sleep, but then we argue over how to do it.
Right. Especially when parents can't agree
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when they can't come to a conclusion.
And
with
that's
each other.
hard because there's emotions involved. A
Absolutely.
lot of emotions.
And then their own childhoods that they remember that were, you know, you're trying to protect your own child from. And
Absolutely. And we tend to, you know, the pendulum tends to swing the other way.
Right.
Which is why I really feel like a middle road, so many times in parenting, is a good one. And in life in general. And that's how I developed this, what the publisher calls the Sleep Lady Shuffle, which is like a middle road approach to helping your child learn how to go to sleep. So you're not leaving them to cry. You're staying with them, but you're not doing it for them.
Right.
Which is why I like to call it sleep coaching. It's sort of like if you coach a soccer team, you give them everything you can.
And you're there for them.
Right.
That's right. You're
But
there
you
for
don't
them.
run out and kick the ball.
That's right. You can't make the goal for them.
Well, thank you so much. That was helpful, and we look forward to hearing more about it.
Thank you.
For more information on the Sleep Lady, go to our website.
Mommycast.com.
Mama, don't you know you keep the whole world turning round?
It's no question that bringing a new baby, I know it's wrong. I said it wrong because my hands were in my pockets. Yeah. Okay.